never find the why, and even if you know exactly why and when it happens, what do you do with it? It will come out of the blue. For no reason at all, it will just grab a player. They all tell me it's not pressure playing in the ball game, Doc. I love the pressure. That does not bother me. This pressure I can't explain. It is not psychological. It's not even mental. It's basically weird.
It's me and him, and he's like, we're going to play at Vanderbilt University together. Like, we're going to play baseball together.
I was so focused on trying to go to college to pitch and eventually playing the pros that that's all I wanted to do was be here and do whatever it took, I guess.
Robert was very fond of Vanderbilt. I remember recruiting him. I remember seeing him pitch a very good game, and then as I was leaving the ballpark, he was raking the mound at a high school game, and it was in right field. It was the right field side, and I was going out that side, and I was underneath the hill, and I just waved up to him, and that was really our first communication, I think, from a visual standpoint.
When I verbally committed to Vandy, before my junior year even started, I was like, I could just, for the next 2 seasons, I could literally just pitch and not worry about anything. Our high school season ended early May. I don't remember when. I know it was May when I went up to St. Louis to throw big empty stadium, like 45,000 seats that are just empty, and there's people like behind you watching. I don't remember one thing from that. Never thought I would be on the St. Louis Cardinals field pitching. It was just, my dad's from St. Louis. We're like huge Cardinal fans, grown up diehard Cardinal fans. So I was like, this is cool. Me and Tony are in our summer dorm writing a paper, and we have it like the draft in the background playing.
And I was like, hey, sick, dude, you just got drafted. Like, yelling across like the hall.
I thought he was kidding.
And he looks at me and he goes, what are you talking about? And I'm like, you just got drafted by the Cardinals.
Unless they offered me like an insane amount of money. I had in my head that I was going to Vandy. I'm not sure if that was for me or for my family or if that's what I felt like I was supposed to do. But now that I think back, it's amazing to me how I didn't put more thought into it. Like, I was like, my dream is to play professional baseball. I got drafted by the Cardinals, and I was just like, no.
There's a lot of fun memories. That summer, that's when the handshake started. And it was pretty cool because, no matter where we did it, everyone would like stop and make sure they paid attention to the handshake because they had never seen anything like before.
It was August, so we got right into it, like working out, running, and it was a whole new ball game.
Going into fall practice, you never know what to expect, especially because now you go from being 18 years old, being like the big man on campus, and then you go to Vandy and you're playing against guys who are future first-round draft picks.
You come in the baseball locker room and your locker's next to someone that you're like look up to, respect. It's just a cool feeling. / you're shaking, saying hi. I don't remember my name, but nice to meet you. We finally had our first scrimmage. I don't remember if it was late September, early October, what it was. But I pitched 1 inning. Got the first 3 people out. That was the first time I felt like I not belonged, but the first time that I was like, okay, I'm gonna be okay here. So we kept scrimmaging. I think maybe 2 or 3 more times. And then one random day, it was in the afternoon, so I think it was a weekend, and I couldn't throw a strike. I remember like the ball feeling like it didn't, like I'd never felt before. Like my fingers were numb, but the ball felt like I couldn't hold it the right way, or it didn't feel right.
I've seen it on all different levels. I've seen it with fielding abilities, I've seen it with hitting abilities, I've seen it with throwing abilities. Where I think it rears its head is from a throwing side.
I would just throw and pray to God that it was a strike.
I remember, Hansen would go out to pitch, and then you kind of hear some people go like, oh, okay. And I remember then that's when I was like, okay, this is getting kind of bad when your own teammates kind of, want to get the practice going along, but like Hansen's struggling right now throwing strikes.
But then it just kept happening. Even like not in the game, like even in the bullpen, like throwing to just a catcher, it's like couldn't throw a strike.
And just imagine just something you do every day, like writing your name or driving a car. You just forget, you know how to do it, but your body just doesn't click.
I pitched in a scrimmage, and I remember I threw just randomly threw super well. After practice, I remember the coach saying, "Let's give a hand to this guy who threw an inning today." I was just like, it was cool because everyone clapped, but I'm thinking what did I come to for someone to be like, "You threw an inning, congrats!" Everyone's clapping.
You want to let that kid know that, good job. You've taken small steps. You're moving forward.
And I'm not sure what I was thinking at the time, but now that I think about it, I'm just like, I got to that point where I threw one inning and people were clapping for me. It was just crazy to think about. You're going from so high to so not rock bottom, but pretty darn close. Any positive energy sent my way was a good thing. So then sophomore year started, and a lot of the same. 5 months went by. I just remember deciding that I needed to go. I just needed to leave.
There's guys that get the yips and they're 26, 27 years old, and they don't know how to cope with it because it's the first time it's happened to them. And if a 26, 27-year-old doesn't know how to cope with it, how is an 18, 19-year-old going to cope with it in college when you're new and you're trying to impress?
That's a real feeling. This kid now doesn't want to play because the act of playing causes too much mental anguish and causes too much pain, where they almost want to remove the activity from the present. They just want to move it to the side and say, I want to do something else, or I'll remove myself from it from the time being and just do something else so I feel good about it.
When he finally told me he was done playing baseball, it really hurt, just because he's your best friend and you don't want to see your best friend hurt. And
I certainly didn't want him to go anywhere because team loved him. He had a very unique personality which everyone enjoyed. He was there was a quick smile, there was quick humor. To me, that thread inside of a team is just as important sometimes as the physical part of it. I think, as coaches, we can see physical injuries. We can rehabilitate physical injuries. But what we probably lack is mental injuries that occur on a daily basis to athletes.
I have countless friends that still play college baseball, and a lot of them play professionally, and I'm ecstatic for them. I mean, that's great, and I still feel like I'm even a part of it just because of how close I am to some of them. It just wasn't for me, and that's okay.